What's up, everybody? Good morning. Sorry for the late start. Everything situated here. Good morning, guys. All right, guys, get ready to get going. All right, we're gonna skip straight to the show. How y'all doing today? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Got a little late start here. How are y'all doing? Let's get some music going. Looks like market's opening. We were watching Google and Microsoft yesterday. Looks like we had a nice little dip down. My JPs are way up. I think now is the day I'm gonna liquidate those. JPs are up almost about 1200%. We have hit those upper lines that I like. I'm gonna go ahead and turn those down. Let me do this. Okay. Let's do JPM really quick. Or a liquidity map.
Courtney is deep in a practicum tech bootcamp, becoming a software engineer.
I got to see the old gap and go. Okay, let's put this front and center. My JP Morgans looks like overall let me see how much they've made overall today. Let me see what we got here. How are y'all doing today? Make sure you get the stream out there, y'all. Hit that like button really quick. Tap it. Anything else I got looking? I put up my map really quick so we got it. Good morning, music surround. I hope it's on, huh? Morning, guys. Alright, turn that lower. All right, guys. Let's see what we got here. How much I want to bet? How much I want to bet you recover from this? You know, social media is up here really quick. Do this really quick. Okay, let's get the scanner going. Let's do some plays out the door. I think I like the idea of closing out some of my JPs a little bit more. Let's put 10 in my pocket. Okay, we are in the money. They do expire this week. Here's the gap up. Resilience is still looking okay. Resilience, Nasdaq is not looking super hot. So let me go ahead and pop those. Let's just go ahead and flatten that position. Let's finally put the JP in my pocket. My overall profit was $1,100, which is good. Can y'all see me? Why is my chroma key looking so strange? That's a little better. Yeah. All right, flat on JP out finally. It's about 1100% gain. Now we got a little bit of chance to play with some other entries, exits, different things. Let's look at NVIDIA real quick. Actually, just fine in the morning. Take a look at this. Good morning, guys. Hit the like button. Hit that like button really quick. Do it now. SPY still bear structure, bear long up, 3080.5, looking good. Is the music still too loud? I need to figure out how to balance that up. Bear long ups are pretty nice. I'm looking for these guys to support open, hedge pressure to the top. This is a resistance right here, which is why at this junction I decided to sell my GP, just because I want to put that money in my pocket. It's a good profit. I'll use that on some other trades. So SPY's bear long up, it's pretty good. Liquidity pocket here, market gets relatively random here. I'm going to use yesterday as an opportunity to get in on some maybe some Google. Let me look. All right, let's take a look at what we have. Qs, bull long up Qs are really good as well. Remember, today looks like we have a limit up here, so I'm not going to be longing too aggressively a lot of the things. So I did finally close out my JPs. That was about 1100% gain, which is fucking phenomenal overall. DD.8, awesome. Let's do that really quick. VIX is in a bear short down, which is also in decay. So all of a sudden this morning, VIX in decay is good. 2 bullish signals for S&P and Nasdaq, also really good. I'm going to buy dips today. I'm not going to chase longs. We're going to look for those opportunities. DD is 0.8, which is great. This is a DD trade today, everybody. We did have a yellow line rejection, so be very careful. These things do tend to cause a day or two of selling. Any upside to here is a chance for me to liquidate my positions for 1 or 2 days off to pull back. So remember, yellow line rejections are very gross, especially with DD being right near the vicinity. I'm going to estimate that today we do tap the upper band and then we do start to sell. Let's find some red lines off of that. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to make sure we have all these guys taken off here. These are all still sitting here. Okay. So I'm going to call a sell day today. Today will be a day we are likely going to sell off. Okay, not sell off hard, but at least DD, which means this is the overshot, and we're back down. And I think maybe Thursday, Friday, we're here before we go up again. Okay, so today is bull signals. I'm going to take dips back up to here. Let's find some of those. And I'm going to take small day trades until we hit the top band on whichever one hits the top band first. Let's check all of them. Whichever one hits the top band first is usually guiding the market. So, oh, Nasdaq has the most room to move. Let's play with Nasdaq today. I like it. Okay. So let's put Qs front and center, since Qs did get a little bit of heat from. Let me get some. Okay, so Qs, mean reversion long up. So 281s for Qs, that'll look good. Let's do some trades, some 0 days. 1026. Just for fun. 281, there's 78 cents. Let's play the Doomsday game. Okay. So these are super cheap here. Let's see how much I want to spend on them. I like using my phone to trade with sometimes. Everybody hit that like button. Go. Smash it. Hit the like button. Let's go. Okay, let's go. All right. I'm just gonna put the logo back up for a minute. Smash that like button, you guys. Let's go. I'm gonna eat really quick. And then I'll come back. Alright, don't judge me. Jimmy Dean, best. Did I say soft day today? No, I said limited upside day today. Okay. That's like resilience less than 0, which means 281 is about the tap. That's the highest we're going to do. Resilience bounce on the S&P. I'm going to look for that. I'm going to play maybe some 0 days today, just to have some fun with it. Just a scout. They're $70 a piece. It's for fun. Your sum is so laggy. How slow I think your sum is. Okay. Let's hit it. I'm close out today. Playing just upper DD band. That's it. Okay, let's run the scanner. This is for bull setups. Less than half gap. Above monthly hedge structure. So they did repair yesterday's couple bugs with a half gap on scanner. So let's run it. Okay. Send some hedge pressure. We're finding some things that are in the less than half gap with resilience greater than 0. Okay. And some stocks that are right on the edge. Not a sell-off day. I'm going to sell some of my positions today. I closed out my JPs for 1100 gain today. Super awesome. I can't believe. That's my first, guys, on I guess on the stream. That's my first 11 bagger. 11-point gang. Is it gonna show me how much I made on Thinkorswim? Oh well. It doesn't show me the percent. It's not like a Weeble, but let me take a picture of it. It was 1100%. They didn't close on. They did expire on Friday, so. All right. That was lovely. Okay. All right. What's going on here? Come on. We're just freezing up. Okay. I'm gonna find some plays today. I'm just gonna make a quick post. About $15,400 in the JP trade. That was legit. Okay, you guys, make sure first and foremost go to rocketscooter.com. Go to the free trial and play along with us today. We're gonna do some quickies, little tutorials, and we're gonna do some videos today recording on how to use the platform. So I'm excited to do that with y'all today. Oh, let me go. Hold on, let me go shut the door really quick. Hold on. All right. All right. All right, let's do this. Yeah. So today I bought 30 0-day QQQs, 381, and that's what I'm looking for. And I was putting something on the scanner real quick. I am loading up on some Google off of this dip this morning. I just put a little bit on my plate here. Take the trial. That's how you're going to learn, because there's videos, there's training videos, and you get to be part of all of the service stuff just by joining. So the trial is the thing you want to do so that you can catch up. Everybody go here really quick. And if you do the free trial, remember, before we hit our 1,000th member, we're doing a thing that is we're doing a little deal like that, half price for life, a monthly sub forever, grandfathered in. You get a quickie, $100 a month. Forever. So it's like that gym that your friend goes to for $50 a month, and you're like, how did you get that? I paid $200. I'm like, oh bro, I got them whenever we just started. Grandfathered in. Well, now's your chance. Okay. Have some 0-day QQQ, 381 calls. I'm sorry, 281 calls. Below resilience, below zero. So I'm looking for just to interact with 281. So they go on the money, I'm gonna close them. Little day trade. I paid $2,100 for them. We'll see if I can get 1 or 200% on that. Dealers manipulating the market. Yeah, had a long conversation yesterday with a buddy of mine, trader. I know AJ Singh, super cool guy, A stocks. We're chit-chatting about commitment traders. We had a really awesome talk about I like what Texas Instruments looking like. Just about market makers and redistribution, kind of like why we're experiencing rally to begin with. Let's take a look at Tesla today. Let's look at TXN and Tesla. Tesla's looking hella smart. I like it. Okay, Tesla is a BLD. Let's find a resistance on Tesla. So first thing I'm going to look for, let's pull the walls and functions out. You go to monthly mode. 230 is 230 is monthly resistance on Tesla. Okay, I take that back. So whenever you're on monthly mode and you are rallying up into that monthly resistance, I'm not necessarily excited to buy on that gap. So we keep an eyeball out on that for tomorrow. So keep Tesla on my watch list for tomorrow. I'm glad I closed out on my Pepsi yesterday. Let me see if I can close out the rest of it. Yeah, there's not much in that Pepsi trade. If it's a place, let's go. Microsoft looking pretty good. Nvidia still looking really solid today. I still have my major Nvidia position. I like it. Let's put it on here. As long as Nasdaq resilience is holding, I'm pretty okay with. So one of the changes also, you may notice, we don't draw the liquidity map on anything other than the 1 minute candle, or anything between 1 minute and 1 hour candle. So we're going to have different designs of how this information will be displayed to you guys on higher time frame candles. But you may notice your liquidity map will disappear on higher time frames. That's purposeful because you're not going to be wanting to see liquidity map for today while you're looking at a daily chart for the week. Daily candles for the week. Video looking hella hot. I do like. But the thing is that, remember, today I'm expecting the market to hit a ceiling and I'm going to start liquidating stuff. So I'm going to be adding to many of my positions today. Let's look at that scalp. I'm in and I'm out. You should be getting it. Everybody should be getting it. There's no reason you shouldn't be getting it. It works just fine. So you just type in, you need to add liquidity map to your chart. I bet you don't have the indicator on your chart. That's why. Typically for indicators, you have to add them to your chart and then they'll show up. There's an announcement about that. That's my ceilings, 381. Literally the strike that I bought. Where do I add that? So indicate like, okay, so if you guys just want some quick tutorial, anytime you have a trading platform is going to have, you know, any kind of information around the side. If you're adding an indicator chart, you're going to go to the giant indicator button right in front of your face, this guy, and then you're going to type in liquidity map, and then you're going to add it to your chart by clicking it. It should work. Any questions anyone else has? With the resilience is less than 0, SPY is gonna have a really hard time breaking out through here. So this play is a little bit of a challenge, but I do like what it's doing. I do like the idea that Google oversold and sold really hard. I do like the idea that there's an opportunity. What we're dealing with right now is a great opportunity for market makers to redistribute in this short squeeze. So what we're seeing today and tomorrow, I think is going to be a setup for people that were short that didn't get out on the last rally up, that are going to have their opportunity to get out and climb out over the next couple days. So my Google entry, I just grabbed I grabbed November 25th 110 calls, and I just scooped up some at 35 cents, and I'm going to scoop up some more at 44 cents. It's a month-long swings. So yeah, so 35 cents, and I just got a handful more at 45 cents. Again, my average entry, I grabbed a little bit before the close yesterday. Sorry, before earnings yesterday, and I just grabbed a little bit with the intent on buying a little bit more today. So I'm gonna get my cost basis right about $1, give or take, a little bit under. I'm done playing with my entry. Tesla, what's up, Tesla? Yeah, Tesla is hitting an upper ceiling, so be careful on Tesla today. There's a monthly call on Tesla at 230. Oh, actually, no, we're not there yet. So yeah, 230, it's getting pretty close. So I think that we're gonna hit that upper doomsday band. And the market will likely hit it and have almost like a doji-ish day. So we need to find opportunities instead of finding. Can you guys tap that like button real quick? Thumbs up, thumbs up. Love y'all. Help that algorithm out. Okay, let's find some plays. I was letting the market stabilize, see what resilience is doing. With resilience less than 0, I'm not taking any long plays yet. I want resilience to be above 0 so I can find some stocks that are lagging. I have set up today stocks that are less than half gap, which means stocks that are below their white dash line. Looking for stocks that are above monthly hedge pressure, meaning that they are still bull structure. And I'm looking for all the bull setups plus some long setups. We'll add them there. We'll do distance from hedge pressure first and foremost. Some stocks that I like. DXN. So the idea is we gap down, right? And if resilience was above 0, I would love to buy for us to fill the gap and just chase that gap fill. Another thing is that DD this morning is greater than half. So I'm expecting interaction with the upper band at least once. Plus there's a yellow line. I think that we are going to limit the upside for the week or so, and then we are probably going to have maybe 1 or 2 down days before we rally again. I don't think the market's going to sell off with a positive DD, but remember, anything irrational, it's time to get out. So the idea that today is the doomsday trade, if you guys see with the bot today, this is again, you join our Discord. Everybody go here now. Join this Discord. It's a free Discord. Stop paying for Discords. First and foremost, it's free, and then you get other stuff. Free trial, 7 days, complete the system, the platform, everything. Our Discord has the best bots on the planet. Planet Jupiter. Not the only bots on Jupiter, but we're the best because we're the only ones on that planet. You're gonna go to here. Doomsday bot is a thing. Doomsday bot will show you some rules. This is a bull bias distribution. 80% of the stock still bull side. Anything above 1/2, you expect to tap the upper band at least once in the session. It has not fulfilled, has not achieved. So this is a doomsday trade. Anywhere you can see these bands, I'm expecting to tap the upper band at least once, and none of them have. So this is a great opportunity for me to take a doomsday trade to here and literally liquidate it, because the S&P has a yellow line right here. So when either one of these tap the upper band, I'm going to start selling all my longs for profit. Let's go, baby. Look at that, already in. Did you buy calls on QQQ? They're in front of your face right here on the screen. 0 day. Lotto Wednesday. But no, 0 day, 381s. I'm going to have them run. I'm going to get out of them as soon as they land. Why would SPY go to 375 next couple days? Would SPY go to 375 next couple days? What's it now? 3. It very well could. Let's find out where that red line is, where it can retrace to. Actually, that's the wrong chart. Is that music too loud? DD target, it's a 0.8. So it's the upper band right up here. And I'm gonna catch it on profit. Look at that, bro. Look at that day trade. Look at that day trade on that Doomsday, boys. Let's go. How much is my entry on that? 2,100 bucks. We're almost up 100. We're almost up 60-70% on that one. I'm gonna sell it right spike. Remember, yellow line's gonna be resistance. So there's my 0 day Doomsday play. Again, I know to get out, it's a day trade only because we have a yellow line in the way. So let's look for those retracement areas. Look at that. You think I had like, I was using like a rocket scooter or something to figure those out. Where am I? Guys, got that free trial. You guys, we love y'all. Love y'all to death. And we will train you today. We'll have a special training session today. Every day, stream gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Looking for something that we teach in our courses called anchor points. Let's show what that means. Like I said, 0 days is a burst. It's to get in, get out. It's not to hold. And it's just a tiny little way to have some fun with momentum today. I don't want to really spend a lot of time worrying about a swing. Obviously very illiquid. Being out of the money. It'll be hard to... This is a trick. There's a video that we did that covers this. If you guys wonder what I'm doing, spend a little bit of time right now and go watch this video. This is a really good video. This covers what I'm doing in brief detail. And if you do the free trial, you'll actually be able to go watch all of these techniques in our actual training videos. So get 7 days to learn everything we have for absolutely free. It's kind of nice. We'll hook you up. So go here. Make sure you watch this one. Go here. This video explains I'm doing why don't you have yellow line on rocket scooter? We haven't made it yet. Patience, Padawan. You gotta build everything. They put stuff in there one at a time. It's coming though. It's coming this year, as well as futures trading, a DOM, a watch list, and we got all coming out this year. Actually, of all things, the Doomsday indicator should be out on your charts by Monday. It's just as fast as we can make stuff. I mean, we launched the. As fast as we can launch. There we go. Yeah. You know, I've had a killer trading week, you guys. Massive pop to the house sale news. Oh yeah, dude, people are gonna find every reason they can to cover shorts in this environment going into the end of the year. Okay, so DD being greater than half, I'm looking for us to get close to the upper band, but remember, yellow line is going to be a resistance. You have to manual them, but we train you how to do it. So, like I said, if you guys miss out, you know, the stream is like a temporary thing. We may not always be here, but we're growing our member base, so I want you to join our community, join our thing. Pretty soon, some features of the stream will be behind the paywall. So, if you guys like what we do, lock in that quickie $100 a month. Lifetime or your lifetime monthly subscription. You can join our trading platform. Covers your data feeds, covers your platform, tech support, all the training, all the videos, and you thought you were getting a value with your $400 a month trade room. So that to answer your question about will SPY go, I don't think so. I don't think 375 is the retracement target. I think we doji for a day or two, and we keep going up. But possible that this is where we do retrace if we ever do. So I don't think that's where we go. I'll come back and get those yellow lines a little bit later. These are all demonstrations. So what these lines are predictable pivots, and you'll see that they're really, really good at what they do. You will see anytime you interact with these yellow lines they draw on here, they're massive volume and they're forecasting and into the future. So solid ones are up, the dashed ones are down. So I'll show you what they look like. Anytime you interact with these yellow lines, you can forecast them from way in advance. Anytime you interact with them, look at that volume. It's even higher volume than the open. That is crazy. Ooh, you know what I was thinking about doing today? I was thinking about picking these words. And making them super large on the screen so you actually can see them. How about that? This reminds me when I say trading tools. Do you guys remember there was like a there's a commercial that pops up. I don't know if it's on Instagram or whatever, and it's like, or Facebook. There's a guy in a car and it's like, this tool helped me make this commercial or whatever, and it's got a picture of a guy, and the comments are all like, why are you calling the guy a tool? That was kind of funny. Am I still in my QQ calls? They're on the screen. They're literally on the screen. Goofball. Yeah, we're watching White Resilience, and that's it. We are taking a Doomsday play only to the upper band. I'm going to close out my position right when we get there, whichever one hits first. So we are looking for today the S&P. This is a trick. You get this part of the bot. The bot's also part of the subscription. As soon as the S&P or Russell or NASDAQ gets that upper band, I'm closing everything. So today, 38.80 is about my upper target, and these are my 0 days. So this is the profit on these guys so far, about $1,200. I made about 14,000 on my JP Morgan. I made about, I don't know, what am I up on my Nvidias? Were up about 10 grand, and I've sold a small portion of those for profit. My Pepsis are kind of at the money. I'm grabbing Google at the dip. Sound is very low. You know, can you hear me? The way I view contracts 3 weeks out, it's fascinating. Oh, thank you, Teal. We did a video yesterday detailing how I do my monthly maps 3 weeks out. So we should probably do that in just a little bit, but let me use Rocket Scooter real quick to kind of pull up some tickers that I like. TXN was one of the call outs this morning. I do like the way TXN looks. Costco looks also good. Target and Walmart. Oh yeah, I did buy a contract at Walmart, didn't I? Just to demonstrate. Sound clear to me? All right, man. Appreciate you. So yeah, I did buy a contract to Walmart yesterday. It's still running pretty good. It's a bull long down, and I pulled liquidity map, which maps out the entire day. Like I said, get that free trial, you guys. All this stuff will be available to you. BLD Walmart. BLD Walmart. I'm looking for the opening price to break to push higher, or opening price to be an in target off a yellow bounce. So if we dip to 137, I'm going to load up on some Walmart again for a swing for a week. Okay, so the first thing we do every morning is we wake up and do a pre-market check. There's a video that we have, my 10-second pre-market check. The first thing you do is you look to see if the VIX has moved more than what's called a risk interval. Our bot will give you these risk intervals. So the pre-market check is to check for stability and rationality in the market. So our bots, so we have 5 different bots here that we have that run. And so risk interval is an exploit of CME span. It's a futures exploit. Doomsday is a bias towards bullish or bearish positions. Yellow line is what I'm showing you guys now. It's that distance that you can predict higher highs or lower lows. All of this exploits the mechanics of margining and volatility. It's a neat thing. Everything here is unique and different. There are numbers that will predict where volume will be. Easily as that. No technical analysis or nonsense with that. So risk interval and yellow lines and Doomsday are big deals at the open. So Doomsday is a code word for our bull bias indicator that we're going to release at the Rocket Scooter this week. So the first thing I do is I make sure the VIX hasn't moved this distance in a session. Clearly it's moved a fraction of that. That's check 1. Number 2, so make sure all 3 indices are opening inside of this risk interval band. Check, check, and check. Let's double check where NASDAQ is. Even though we opened slightly below it, we are in the band now. So market's rational, rational, and rational. VIX is good. These rules, you guys, are in stop rules that show all 5 of them. VIX, I just checked that. Risk interval, Doomsday band, check that. Look, it was just quickie, quickie, quickie. Is there a catalyst today? No, nothing on the news. We have FOMC coming up either Wednesday next or the Wednesday after. Check that. So let's double check the last 2 that require the market to be open. Any breakouts of hedge pressure or UVXY, which is VIX, hedge pressure breaks as well. So we do every morning is we run Rocket Scooter to look for positive gamma or negative gamma on the VIX. VIX is a short and down below both hedge pressures. Fantastic. When VIX hits a call wall right here in a bull zone, that is one of the irrational checks. So this flag this morning, which is one of the things that I was looking at, I forgot to say it, but when you are supporting this with volume, you see how when you're at that call zone, the volume is even higher than the open. When you know you're predicting where volume will be at that edge, we know what we're talking about, predicting where volume will be. And that volume was not enough to bounce the VIX, and VIX is clearly in decay on a short down. Perfect. Check number 4. I know it's a lot at once, but when the market's rational, I'm extremely confident in taking nice swings or day trades or whatever that are looking really nice. The S&P, no hedge pressure breaks to the downside. So check, 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 and check. You do them really quick. It's a 10-second check. Any irrational checks, I stay out for the day and close down. When people notice when I went on my 74-day win streak on YouTube last year, trading S&P futures and NASDAQ futures every single day. I was live trading every day. I took a $6,700 account to 95,000 live on stream in a 74-day win streak. If you were here for that, tell people, Matt's not making this up. I saw it. I was there every day. I watched it. If you were there, people are like, no way. 74 days? Yes. Trading just S&P and NASDAQ. 2020. If you were there, say, I was there, I saw it. It was a real account. Account numbers on the screen. Every position, every day was revealed. Nothing was hidden. He showed the P&L history of the account. Jeffrey said, made me a believer. Jeffrey was there. Ed was there. Gold Marie was there. Andrew was there, and he's still here. Travis was there. We live traded futures up until the moment I decided to build Rocket Scooter as a platform. And then we got off of YouTube and made it. And then that was last August. And a year later, we've released it to you guys. So I'm excited to be able to share that, share our journey with you guys and trade and live trade. I put everything on the screen with an account number and all my positions that I'm in. It's hard to put options positions on Thinkorswim. So I'm just showing my active ladder, but I'm in a bunch of swings right now. I've been trading these for about 2 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. I think I'm up like 50, 60K this week. Pretty good. I can't remember. I'm in Google, November 25th, 110 calls. JP Morgan, I was in 120 calls for this Friday. I went ahead and exited those. It's $15,400 profit at 1,100% gain. Those are JP Morgans. I called the bottom before it happened. There's a post on my Twitter that I showed you guys how I did it. We will detail, maybe today we'll go over kind of why I said that. Oh yeah, this is from yesterday. We were chatting with my buddy AJ. We were chatting about the commitment traders. This is the guy made the post on the 17th. Way back in July, I called a 2-month bottom, pinned it. That tweet had like crazy amount of impressions. Everybody was like, you're crazy, you're crazy. And then we had a 2-month rally. I was long at the bottom, closed at the top, started shorting Apple and other things at the top. Waited. And this is the first time I'm calling a bottom for 2022 till the end of the year. And the market doesn't get bearish until the summer. There's a lot of reasons for that. This post somewhat went viral. I think it's got 100K impressions by now. So appreciate the love and support you guys are having. People like to think you're crazy when you say something they don't, they don't see. Why is the market rallying? It's a liquidity thing. What is liquidity? Well, that's what we specialize in. That's the greatest part. Rocket Scooter has the edge on understanding where volume will be, which is liquidity. Anytime you tap any one of our pivots, which would be monthly or hedge, yellow, blue, or white, there's a volume spike. Look, there's a volume spike. That was obviously on a catalyst. But anytime you interact with monthly hedge pressure, half gap, there's volume. As a trader, where do I want to long or sell? It doesn't like all these options. I can sell anywhere and I can buy anywhere. What's the best place to get in, get out? Well, you have to decide what your bias is as a trader. But what we do, if we show you where positive gamma, negative gamma on monthly is, where delta hedging takes place on a daily, or you're going to have half gap, which is that distribution of the imbalance between open and close. These 3 areas are the 3 options I care about to trade at. I don't care about doing anything else other than here, here, or here. I've narrowed down all possible prices to 3 options. It makes trading a whole lot simpler. Well, I'm planning my trade a whole lot simpler. Trading is hard as fuck, so I don't think that trading is easy. But my planning is a whole lot easier because I can say, what am I going to do here? What am I going to do here? What am I going to do here? And in between, not do anything in that choppy weather where there's nothing going on. The idea is to find where volume will be before it happens. It's like a volume profile, except it's predicting tomorrow's volume profile instead of relying on yesterday's data to look for it. You don't ever trade without Rocket Scooter. I love you, Golden Marie. You're my favorite. Crazy good. I like the Google Play with what cause did you say? I got myself. I think AJ also was in the same position. We were both liking Google, and the idea was I put like maybe 3 or 4 grand on the table before earnings, and when Google dumped, I'm gonna put probably 5 more grand on that position, and I'm just gobbling up right now. I got November 25th, which is after the Fed meeting, 110 calls on Google. Let's look at the Doomsday really quick so I can see if I'm getting squeezed out of my 0 day. Not yet. Things are looking okay. Here's why I got Google, and this is why I picked the price I did. This is something that we will teach you, and this will be automated in Rocket Scooter. Just imagine. Imagine you being in Rocket Scooter, using our platform, our scanner, getting our tools, and it's $100 a month if you do a free trial now, and it's going to be $200 a month for the same version after we hit our 1,000th member, which should happen before the end of the year. So if you guys want to lock it in, you can have that discount for every month for life. You can get all the additional data, the futures data if we get it, options data, everything. We'll be able to live trade options and futures and stocks on our platform sometime this year through various brokers like TD Ameritrade, TradeStation, Tradeovate, NinjaTrader, you name it. Okay, so let's do a monthly map on Google. Which I did. Okay, so a lesson about what monthly map is this is how you forecast into the future. Okay, this is a trick. Everybody click that like button real quick because I'm about to drop solid gold on how I do what I do. And maybe it's not solid gold, maybe it's gold foil, but at the end of the day, it's gold to me. I'm an average trader. Let's be real. I'm great at 2 things. Talking, according to my girlfriend, and working out. Yeah, bruised my arm the other day. Oh, and creating indicators, I guess. Other than that, I'm not that great at anything else. Maybe I have a good hairline. That's kind of nice. About. Expirations on. I hate when I spell something and underline it. So today Can't believe we got 1100% on JP Morgan. That's my, I think that in my history of trading options, which hasn't been long, I was futures trader and stock trader all my life for the most part. Then options, what, like maybe a year ago? That's my first 1000%er, JP Morgan. By the way, popped my cherry on my first 10 bagger. Got 1100% on that, which is great. And I'll show you guys where I bought it, why I bought it, and how I did it. Y'all are gonna love it. All right, let's go here, here. Please click like button though. Give us a little bit of little love there. Let me go ahead. Do me a favor. I'm gonna make a little post here. Yeah. You're gonna like this. Ready? Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's go. All right. So when you do monthly maps, I'm going to use, we have apps. We have the main Rocket Scooter app, which is here. We also have the light app, or the classic app, which is here. It's same as this without the charts, and it's actually like really nice and mobile friendly. So we can kind of put this off to the side just like that. Make it a little simpler. And so right now we're working on getting our historic data and ability for us to save our drawings on the charts. So historically, if I draw like a rectangle on the chart, it doesn't save yet. It just wasn't one of the priorities when we released the charts because we were doing a million things at once. So now I just still draw it in Thinkorswim, but in about, this year, all this stuff is going to be finished up this year. So we're going to use the classic app, which is the first app that we had in conjunction with Thinkorswim. And let me just keep this here so I can watch my zero days. Okay. So when you pick your stock, you type it in. You can play along with me. Everybody do a favor. I want you to play along with me, right? Go here really quick. We don't take a credit card for the free trial. We're that confident. We let you just take the bike and ride it. You can come back and pay later if you want. No credit card free trial. It's not like a get in the free trial and then you wake up the next day and there's a charge, right? Won't even check your credit card information. We're so confident you're gonna like literally pick it up and be like, oh hell yeah, this is sweet. And it takes just your phone number. Not significance when they cross over each other. No significance. At least we don't know yet if there is one. There is currently not believed to be any significance about the orientation or crossing over of any of those indicators. But great question. Okay, you can do exactly what I'm doing right now, and I want to encourage everybody to go get that free trial real quick. Come back and watch this video later. I'm watching one from yesterday. I'll release about a 10-minute clip, and we will go into the details here. What are these boxes and what do they mean? And why am I buying Google's right over here? Okay. So one of the tricks and Rocket Scooter actually shows you is where market makers are positioned. Nobody in the world puts that into a retail trading platform. Nobody. Period. Because it's impossible to know. But it's not impossible to derive mathematically from the behaviors we know market makers must follow. Rules, regulations, things like that. We look for certain patterns of order flow, and we take all options that come through and we filter out options we believe belong to like you and Lotto Friday traders and I don't know, non-market maker trades. The secrets of what is a market maker trade. It would be somebody who is buying or selling, you and me, buying or selling Google stock at a period where Google has illiquidity, like where Google has, like if I bought Google like 10,000 shares and there was no seller, then the market maker sold to me and they're looking to buy back so they can neutralize from another seller. So it's an imbalance trade between a person and a bank. And the bank is out there, well, I have some risk. Ugh, I don't want risk. I want zero risk. So if I longed Google and they shorted Google to me, they went out and got some Google calls somewhere else so they can close out their short, guaranteed because it's an option. So in a delta weighted situation, the delta hedging their calls with the shares they have, it's a zeroed out position where there is no risk to them as long as they maintain delta and other Greeks. See, I'm not listening to my own stream, but I hear a commercial popping up. Yeah, there you go. So we look at only market maker options, and this is just market maker distribution, which really means real bull side, real bear side of the market. Real bull side, real bear side of the market, real bull side, real bear side on these expirations. So Google is going to expire every Friday. So I'm going to go into the app and type in the next Friday that's coming up. Let's put in oh wait, should I say something like I'm so bad at streaming? Link in by description. That makes it easier to see, right? And should I put it here or? Now we'll do it later. Okay, back to what I was doing. Let's look at today's Friday, the 28th. Okay, I'm gonna click monthly mode, 28th, Google, and hit refresh. It's going to give me a distribution of walls. So what's neat about this is there's a pure distribution of bear positions and bull positions. That's the key. 104 and higher is bull, 100 and lower is bear. That's real Wall Street positions. So this was my map yesterday, and I'm going to modify it today because today is changing a little bit. But just to talk about yesterday's map, when I decided to buy Google, why did I pick 110 calls, and why did I pick this Friday, the 28th? Oh no, I'm sorry, the 28th is that Friday. Okay, so here's a cool trick. The distance between the bull zone and the bear zone, it's the same bull zone and bear zone that you see here, but the exception is when you have the liquidity map shown on your daily chart, this is called daily mode. This is looking at all options that exist, period, for SPY, with the exception of the monthly option. So all SPY options at all expirations and all strikes, everything, all the way out in time are included in this calculation. So what I'm doing now is isolating just one day at a time and taking that combined and splitting it out into actionable days that are expiring so I can look for opportunities for me to swing not only what price, but when I want to do it. Okay. How's my 0 days doing, by the way? Okay, let's check that Doomsday very quick. My trade is, I paid 2,100 bucks. I'm getting close to 100% gain on that. I'm probably just going to drop it at 100% gain. Nice little day trade there. I'm looking for that upper DD band. That's the scalp today. Let's pause the lesson. Take a sip of the old Celsius here. Again, very close to that. That's the day trade I did today. I'm just going to hit flatten with a market order just to dump it. So there's 100% gain on a QQQ scalp. You guys saw me this morning. I used Rocket Screw to pick it up. Again, I'm just looking at QQQ today. Alan Gross. Alan Gross with 1 S. How come we got 2 S's there? Son. Go. Thought you had 1 S. Flatten doesn't work with options. Oh, that's right. That's right. I didn't think your summit doesn't work. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop the limit order down here. Does that work? Oh, you know what? No. I'm just going to sell 30 to the ask. Okay, there we go. That's good. Great trade. Love it. Someone beat you with 2 S's? So that was about like a 70% gain on that guy. Right at the upper Doomsday band, and there was a scalp. Nailed it. Let's go back to the lesson. Yep, there's a 281. Rhino went in the money. Thanks for reminding me. There it was. Still a victory dance here. Easy as that. All right, hold on. Let me finish my Jimmy Dean. It's getting cold. Sandy, girl, how are you? By the way, Sandy, one of our newer members at Rocket Scooter, how are you enjoying learning risk management as part of your trading diet? This is a question I want to ask you and some of the other new folks that have just found us this year. Since we teach very heavily on the risk management side, how are you enjoying the idea that you can be more selective about what you're doing and choose to sit out? And it's not just every day where's the trade. It's like every day, should I be in a trade or not? Should I be cautious? The things you're looking at on your own. How are you guys liking that stuff? You love that Doomsday trade, Travis, I know. That DD trade, when we wake up in the morning, I say there's a Doomsday trade, I take it. You didn't hit the upper band, but that is probably the limit today. And I think today, you ring my NVIDIA's front and center. So my NVIDIA's are up almost like 10 grand as well. They expire, oh, that's the thing. You can't see the expiration. Okay, let me scoot this over just a little bit. I get to go all the way to here just so you can see it. Up here is the trade. So let me scoot this down a little bit. Oh my God, won't trade without Rocket Scooter. Love you, Sandy. You're sweet. All right. I think it's awesome. A bad habit in the past was chasing candles. Yeah, chasing. So you notice one thing I don't do is chase. One thing is I long at a dip and I sell at a high. Literally buy the low, sell the high. I don't chase candles. I don't, you know, you guys use technical indicators like moving averages and MACDs and like harmonics and Elliott waves and things like that. Those are chasing candles and just in another way of doing it. Don't do it. It's 0.8. The bot is picking it up. And actually, just so you know, you guys ready for this? Let me show you some behind the scenes. Y'all want to see some behind the scenes action before I go back into my lesson? Y'all want to see what me and the project team talk about? Y'all want to see what's coming up? Ooh, they'll kill me if I share it with you though. If I share it with you, they're gonna be mad. They're gonna be Matt. Don't give everyone a sneak peek. How dare you? Not cool, Matt. All right. You promise though. Promise our secret. Buddy, that I'm leaking this information. It's our secret. Can I get a promise? Can I get a click that like button on the stream though? If I get 50 likes, I will reveal to you the next release of Rocket Scooter, which is on Monday. Y'all will love what we're gonna do. Click that like button. Okay, ready? Thank you. All right. Wait. Oh, shh. It's a secret. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody, guys. Okay. So, I know this is my chicken scratch from the meeting, but number one, we are going to be having half gap, hedge pressures, whatever, listed on the left. These are graphical changes, but that's okay. We're going to have doomsday bands printed on your chart, just like this. We're going to have them drawn to the left instead of a band. So you can see before we get futures data, we will have SPY doomsday bands for just S&P. For now, that's a way to get it in by Monday-ish. The number for doomsday will be written somewhere, probably in the border. So we're going to do SP 500, resilience, doomsday, hedge pressure, monthly hedge pressure, just listed in the border edge of the platform. And we're not going to do the NQ DD yet until we test the SPY. And then of course we'll put the NQ in, the range. So the doomsday that we present to you is based on all the SPY positions. The number is based on S&P 500 stocks. So the number will be written up here at the S&P. We'll only be drawing the S&P band at first until we like it, and then we're going to add NQ, Russell, whatever. But it's not going to be the futures data yet because we got to get a futures data feed into the charts. Instead, we're going to do a little magic to convert the futures risk interval into a SPY risk interval, which is going to be, again, estimated 1/10 of the range. It's a quick and dirty way to have doomsday bands on the chart by Monday. I know. The number will be there. The bands will be there. Another thing is we wanted to draw, like, in liquidity map is the name, hedge pressure, monthly hedge pressure here for the active stock. Unfortunately, with the library, the charting library doesn't allow you to do it. And this is a limitation, but this sort of, and then of course we'll have this is called status. This morning I was like, why did I write the word Satan? I'm like, oh, that's status. I'm like, okay, so this is being changed to status instead of resilience. And there's a status bar of the calculations, just to let you know the calculations are done. And you're gonna be able to close these out to save some real estate, but that's basically the future of what we're gonna release. And so it's gonna be graphical changes. The last part, so the best part, is auto centering and auto scaling. And that's the new thing that's coming out, which is, you know, when I'm like, ooh, I wanna trade Home Depot, right? Home Depot, front and center. I have to do this, right, to see all the calculations, and do this to get it centered and all that stuff on the 1 minute chart. This is an algorithm that we created on the fly to auto center and auto scale and auto draw everything so you just see it in one swoop without ever having to resize both your X axis of time and your Y axis of price. So in quick and dirty, it said I can quickly scroll through indicators, the tickers, and it's always presenting the data in a very easily seen format where all the information I need is on the chart with no resizing. We're asking for that for Monday too. Exciting? You don't like that? So the idea is that's that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's part of some code that I wrote, pseudo code that I wrote, to automatically use mathematics to resize and rescale the chart, not only for 1 minute time frame, but all minute time frames, and for multi-charts, and for any price stock over any time distance. So it's very sophisticated. It will be released for what we call the intra-hour candles first, which would be this right here, anything less than an hour. Right, so that's gonna be on the pipeline for this Monday. So I'm excited to see that coming out. Okay, back to the monthly map, and we're gonna call it a day for the stream. Pretty good day, you know, with 100% gain, 70% gain, give or take. It doesn't show the percent gains. I'm just kind of estimating how much I made versus how much I spent. DD is very simple. Doomsday is a risk interval. It's a hack. Not a hack. It's an exploit. I see Sandy Hack's name and I say it's a hack. It's an exploit of the risk interval, which is it's the understanding of expected volatility of futures derived from CME Span, which is a program that all clearing firms and brokers use to set margin requirements. Okay, so back to the monthly map. Let me show you guys the trick on what I do. Okay, so over here, that's my Nvidia, by the way. That's another huge trade that's been going. I'm hanging on to that. Why am I not? How much money do I want to spend today? Want to get somewhere? Google, Nvidia. I want to do some more Googles. Okay, I'll add some more Googles. Okay. My cost is in Google right at 80 cents. That's good. Okay. So the distance between bull zone and bear zone on an individual day, the 28th, for instance, I click Google 28 And like I said, yeah, make sure you guys go, everyone else, just go do the free trial and you get all the videos on this. Is 393 SPY the highest seen in the call wall of Rocket Scooter? Yeah, I think all stocks are going to have a fast recovery. I think every stock right now is going to have a short squeeze going into the year. $393, the SPY highest seen in the call wall of Rocket Scooter. So here, off to the right. Oh, they fixed the infinite loop problem of the error message. You have a typo in here, would infinitely loop an error message. So we fixed that last night. Jod is on fire with this. I don't see a 393 call wall on SPY. On monthly mode, on daily mode. No. Oh, right here? No, it's not a resistance. It's just showing you where risk is distributed on both sides. There is no resistance in SPY, period. That's why I call it bottom. Tesla had a fast recovery. It's the same reason. The market's too liquid to crash. I've given speeches on this for months before I called a bottom. The market is too liquid to crash. People are going to cover shorts in the end of the year. Shorts the weaker trade. Market makers hold the bag. They need to squeeze traders out and find buyers. The only people that are going to buy in this environment are shorts that are overly short that are cover profits in the end of the year. Easy as that. Are my Pepsis in the money? Wait a minute, my Pepsis are making profit now? And here I am waking up thinking I was going to liquidate these guys. My 180 Pepsis are in the money. Ow! Let's go. That's right. I got 180 breakout high Pepsis in the money. Finally held on. Yeah, I held them. I got a $1.14 cost basis on those guys. I got 30 of those. When I bought them, I sold 10 of them yesterday at a loss, and I'm holding on to the other 20 for the game. Just because it wasn't getting there in time and I was losing data, I just trimmed out a third of the position. No big deal. Now the other two are in the money. I'm gonna hold that until expiration. We're going. Okay. All right, back to maps. Let's go, and then I can get out of here, call it a day. Okay. Great trading day today, guys. Hella good day. Okay, so one of the things you guys will notice about how to find liquidity, and that's the whole point, is a market maker needs to find liquidity. They're going to pivot the market to look for buyers and sellers. That's what we're going to do as well. Buyers and sellers, or bulls and bears, right? These are the bulls, these are the bears. That's it. So on this Friday, we're in bear territory for this expiration. So we're discreetly just plotting the expirations of Google options, which is every Friday. So we're going to do a little map of what each Friday looks like. This Friday is distributed like that. This Friday is bullish above 100. This Friday is bearish below 98. Clearly Google is in bear territory after bearish earnings. Makes sense. If I extrapolate even forward, Google is also, while in bear territory now, it's neither bull or bear for next week, neither, etc. And then bear for here. Okay. So if Google hangs here, it's bearish, balanced, balanced, bearish. Okay. So Google being above this guy, this guy, this guy, and that guy is considered bullish. And this was yesterday's map. So we're going to do today's map and show you how this works. This is a great tool. Use Rocket Scooter to do it. And Rocket Scooter will draw these monthly maps for you automated on the chart. You can make the same assessment. This is how I pick the strike that I get and the time that I get it for. That's exactly what this platform is designed to do. To show me where liquidity is. So I bought here with the intent on loading up somewhere in here with the intent to become bullish out here. So one of the things you'll notice is that when you have a clean distribution like this, just one side of calls and one side of puts, when the distribution is just like that, we call it liquid. So when it's jumbled up like this, it's basically illiquid. Bull, bear, bull, bear. Buyers and sellers in close proximity, but you don't know who's going to act first. You don't know if a buyer and seller are going to trade with each other. If all the buyers are here and all the sellers are there, it's very liquid, very liquid, very liquid, very illiquid, okay? So another thing is that if I were to draw a circle, which is the distance between the bull and bear split, while it is still liquid, it's less liquid the wider it gets. Those are the two lessons of this. So the idea is liquid is equal to the inverse of volatility. Bigger range, more volatility. The volatility is literally how much the stock does that when it's not going anywhere. So very volatile, very not volatile. Very liquid and not volatile. Very interesting going into earnings, not liquid, not volatile. Sorry, liquid, not volatile. I'm sorry, I did these backwards. Liquidity 1, liquidity 2, liquidity 3. So more liquid than here, more liquid than there. Means buyers and sellers will easily find each other. More stable, less stable, less stable. Less volatile, more volatile, more volatile. And in general, just illiquid in general. So one of the things is, if this is liquidity and this is volatility, volatility is less than volatility 2, is less than volatility 3. And then here, the circle gets more, so it's less than volatility 4. So why, if I put these circles next to each other, is there volatility here? That's the question. What's happening this week? Why is Google becoming more volatile after earnings? Right? Where bulls and bears agree with each other less, and then it rapidly tightens up after. What's coming up in here? What's very important as far as a catalyst goes on the market that's coming up this week, or this area? FOMC on Wednesday. Isn't that crazy? This is what I'm saying. This is what our platform is useful for. This is alarming me. So wait, what? What is going on here? And you might, just a quickie question. Yeah, so as far as what we build here as mathematicians, we are, by the way, an engineer by trade. I was an engineer for a while. Math and coding are like second nature to me. Despite being a goofy jokester on the stream, I'm a very serious person, a very serious mathematician, very, very in the money on my NVIDIAs, but also very meticulous about what we design. So as you see, volatility is going to go up going into FOMC, and then it's going to go down after FOMC. So higher volatility is higher premium on your option. You don't want to buy your option as you're bumping up into more and more IV. You want that IV to not be priced in. You want to gain that IV as you travel through it. And midterms as well, yeah. Right? So just imagine if you held an option that just traveled at the same price through here. An option didn't go anywhere, and the option expired at infinity time, okay? That cost of your option, that premium, will slowly drift up a little bit. Even when it doesn't change delta. Because the volatility is going higher. IV goes up. IV does price into the premium. So you want to travel into IV not buy into IV. You want to buy before it's volatile and travel through it. Do we all understand when I say travel through volatility? You want to be in when it's liquid and be along for the ride. Whether you buy puts or calls, it doesn't matter. Both of them will go up in value due to IV because of put call parity. Okay? Do we understand? So I want to get in now when It's very liquid, even on a dip where I double down. And I'm going to travel through that just to get a little burst of my premium. I'm longing these options, but I don't want to sell them. I want to pick the strike that I want, and then I want to buy them for the expiration. Is going to give me enough time to do that. So I definitely picked an expiration that was after here. And because it's kind of illiquid here, I grabbed 2 Fridays after that to give it a little more time. Can a non-genius use this platform? Okay, so yes, 100%. We designed it. And the rules, I'm making a video on this today, actually. The rules are very simple. Longing options, you want to long options when it's liquid and swing it through volatility. If you want to trade, like if you're right here and you want to trade as IV is crawling higher and you haven't traded, then you're gonna be on the sell side of the options. In here, if we were trading down here on this day, I would sell calls because that IV is on the short side of the option, will build into the price of the premium I get instead of the premium I pay. So when the IV is higher, and say I want to enter the trade and the map looks like this when IV is growing, then I want to short a call instead of buy a put, right? Things like that. Travis uses it. Yeah, he's... Let's face it, Travis, I love you, but you're as dumb as I am, dude. We know it. But seriously, though, jokes aside, it's not hard. Trading options is hard. Trading is hard. We want to make it simpler for you to understand. There's no technicals on this chart, no indicators and lagging stuff to give you clueless approach. It's really systematic. You're exploiting black shoals. You even know it's a very sophisticated equation that prices options. You're doing it with like colored rectangles on the chart. And Charles uses it, yeah. See, like the dumbest people in Rocket Scooter are now chiming in and letting you know if they can use it, you can use it. Just kidding. Options is already complicated, and we're trying to make it simpler for you to understand. When the range is expanding, you want to be in the long of a put or a call as it expands. If you are trading while it's expanding, you're missing out. And worse, if you're trading while it's contracting and you're longing puts and calls, that IV crunch is going to work against you. So when it's getting smaller, you hear people say IV crunch. That's right here. From here to here, I don't long any puts or calls because already it's going against me on the volatility. So you don't want to long while the volatility is drying up. If market was rallying here while IV was getting smaller, volatility is getting smaller, then if market's rallying, then I will sell puts instead of buy calls. Okay, and there's a whole thing behind that. But the whole point is that I'm going to do the map. So now I picked a strike on Google that was the bull side of Google that will keep us going. Plus there's a gap fill. So I use this video that I made for gap fills, picking price targets. It's this guy right here. Make sure you do me a favor. I'm going to link it again at the end. It's only a 10-minute video. This will go over the 4 ways I pick a price target. Okay. This will show you why I picked 110s for here. I picked a target that would fill the next gap, which is one of those things we do. And I measured the expected range, which if you guys go back to yesterday's stream, remember when I said the expected range was here? I don't know if AJ's here. We were chatting about that afterwards. 7 points and 7 points. So the expected range was here and here. So I bought and then I like quadrupled down at the bottom. Got a really solid cost basis. And I know that if it fell to here, I've got a long climb to get to my gap fill, which means I need to make sure that the distance from here to here, you know, with Google, it takes likely a month to get there. So I know, okay, what does a month look like? Well, great. Plus we have volatility in the way, which can squeeze it up faster or squeeze it down lower. Either way, I bought something that's going to give me enough time to get the strike I want in the worst case condition of Google missing earnings. Okay. Google missed earnings. You know the expected range because there's the bear side and there's the sellers if we're bullish. So when market makers raise price, they look for sellers, and a gap down is clearly where sellers will be. Okay. Here's that opening volume after the gap down. All those sellers, there they are. So if we rally, buyers meet sellers to find liquidity. That's how liquidity map works. So you know the expected range is there to there. I bought in the middle just a little bit with the exception of maybe I can get a nice YOLO. Maybe I can build a longer term position. Either way, I needed enough time for the worst case to play out and enough money in my pocket to buy the dip and go, which is why yesterday I was preparing for this trade a day in advance by selling some of my Pepsi, selling some of my Nvidia, selling some of my JP while they're in the money. I probably put 15 grand in my pocket yesterday of all the gains I've made this week, just so I can play Google for maybe $150,000 trade. Okay. So here, the market is distributed clean and bullish at my expiration and at my strike after this date. So I need to kind of play around through Fed and just sit on this guy and let it go. I want to be really far out of the money so theta doesn't burn it up too much anyways as the days go by, which out of the money options have the least theta burn. Closer you are out of the, or more out of the money, less than being closer to the money. Okay, so let's do a map now, and let's shuffle. Every morning you can get up and redo this. Now I manually do this, but pretty soon Rocket will be able to draw this automated for us. So this is the actual volatility going into today's expiration today. So this is this date. I'm going to go in and pick the next day here. The 4th, 110 and 99. So it's getting a lot more volatile as of today. So you see the difference, right? After the bad earnings, the volatility went way up. You'll see that, right? Or actually not volatility, but the, sorry. Let's see what the volatility was expected for that. Like 191. So about 9 points, right? So it went up to about 11 points. So it got a little more volatile, even though the bull side is a lot higher at 110. And the bear side is a lot higher at 99. It still is getting a little more volatile, which does make sense because we're still going to FOMC. Now let's plot out the next week, the 11th. And again, 114 and 100. So you can see how these are shifting very rapidly after earnings. That's one thing to take note of. Yeah. So everybody to take note is that this was a liquidity map, monthly map for Google before Google earnings, and Google had earnings that missed and it fell to the expected range, which was good. I bought a little bit with the intent on doubling down or tripling down and holding through the volatility. You can see that the distance between call zones gets wider and wider as we go through this period of time, and then it shrinks up here. We're becoming more volatile, just to repeat what we said earlier, because FOMC is here, and of course volatility is expected because FOMC is a big driving force of the market, right? And then of course after FOMC, that volatility gets lower. So now after earnings, I want to show you the impact of what, again, just repeating what we just went through, the impact of what you see now that earnings has happened. So let's go back to this particular date, which is this Friday, 104 and 100. You can see that this got a little shifted, and every morning I'm going to redraw these. Now Rocket Scooter platform will eventually sometime this month do this automated for you, and we call them monthly maps. And monthly maps are how I pick my expiration date, and using that video predicting price targets is how, or predicting profit targets is how I pick the strike that I want. So this is how I time where I get it, where I get my expirations, what date I pick. This is very important when you're trading options. Date means everything, and the most options traders will tell you 100, 104, that's the 4th. Okay, right here. Most options traders will tell you just picking direction, market going up, market going down, is not what options trading is about. You want to do that, you can trade stocks or futures. Just double checking what I just did. 100 and 104 for that date. Options is all about picking the time that something happens. 199, there it is, sorry. of 10. So time is the most important factor when trading options. You need to pick not only where it goes, but how it gets there. There's a bunch of ways to trade options. It's really difficult. You can't just buy calls and buy puts arbitrarily. Time is the secret to profiting in options. Picking the right time that the thing happens that you want. You could be right on the trade and still lose money. You could have been long calls while it's rallying for weeks at a time and still lose money because you bought them and they burned out all the premium on theta, right? So you can see going to FOMC, we're still getting slightly more volatile, 100 to 114. Remember, more volatile going to FOMC, which is expected. But you see now, Google is clearly bearish inside of here, which is really hard to stomach, especially if I want to buy the dip. I kind of wanted to see a little bit of a distribution going into FOMC, at least lower bear side. Now we're getting an even bear side. So Google is bearish, and this is bear territory going into those 3 weeks. Don't like it. So I'm gonna have to see it shift very rapidly around Fed. Still not close out my position yet because we're still holding monthly hedge pressure. It's a whole different topic. But you can see that now the illiquidity of bull bear has disappeared for this particular date, which is great. I want to see that the market is clearly bullish and bearish again with no expected crazy illiquidity. And I want to see this tighten up a little bit. And if it does, I'll be really happy that going into monthly expiration, it definitely tightens up a little bit. That's perfect. Okay, just like that. So good. So now my 110 strike is still in liquidity pocket. He's telling me a new version of my camera is available. That's cool. I said that yesterday. I see the word hub pop up and I'm like, hopefully that's not like a new version of Pornhub is available. Ew, how embarrassing. Red tube like everyone else. Okay. Right. So I'm looking for some volatility FOMC. And of course, I want to see the bull. Now the bull side's moved up a little higher. My 110s are now more conservative because this liquidity is more approachable than breaking bullish, which is good. So the idea that the middle between bull and bear territory is a very attainable target. This is where liquidity is. If FOMC comes through, strikes this thing higher or kicks this thing up, then a liquidity pocket is great. It's like if this was here like that, it'd be a lot harder to break from bear territory to bull territory. It's harder to go to squeeze bears to bulls than it is to put bulls and bears at each other in a liquid market. So that is better for my target. I want my target to be in liquidity or even in the bear zone if we're in bear territory. So I can draw a line here to show that I don't bet that stocks that are bearish become bullish, okay? So you can literally draw this and say this is what bulls look like and bears look like. So the bears are more bearish at 102 as time goes by because they're bearish all the way to 108, still bearish. So people are more bearish as after earnings as time goes by on Google. That's what that tells you. Bulls have to go higher. People are less bullish as time goes by on bullish. So I expect any burp up to hit bear side and not break bullish without good news. And maybe good news could be here on FOMC, but there is no catalyst anymore for Google. Without an FOMC bump up, then I expect my target at best to hit all of these. So the profit target of liquidity would be if we break out of the bear side, that is my approachable target, the middle, which is where my strike was. Luckily, I don't need to adjust this position. So I can expect Google to bounce around like this. I can play at the position. We get a nice little run. I'll take some profit. Get back in, nice little run, take some profit, get back in, nice little run, take some profit, get back in, and then hopefully get the burp. Okay, so now that's what I'm expecting to go forward. So if I were to enter Google today, my strikes would be liquidity pockets, which would be here, 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 or here. So again, if I bought the dip on Google and I wanted to bet on a run up, these are my targets at different points in time. I don't want to long for these strikes. I want to be long as IV grows. I want to be long now as we travel through this expansion of volatility, and then sell it hopefully somewhere in here before it crunches is when I want to sell my position. So I want it to achieve what I want it to achieve inside of here while it's collapsing. And I'm going to give myself 2 more weeks, pretty much a fat, to allow me to not burn theta between here and here. So I'm still great on my trade. I have 110s for that Friday. November 25th, sorry, this Friday. Have any clue where my eraser is? Sorry, this Friday. So actually I gave it 1 week, not 2 weeks. November 25th. Yeah, so I gave it 1 week after expiration. So I want it to hit my target somewhere in here before that IV crunches, and I want to give it another week just so I can get a little bit extra theta. Pay a little bit more for another week out, but I don't want to buy options expire here or here because there's a lot of volatility, which means if I'm not in the money during this time, I'm going to burn out a lot of theta the closer you are to expiration. So that's it. That's how I do my trades on monthly maps. And adjusting my position on the second day after earnings. So I'm glad you guys like that. Okay, I'm gonna call it a day. I'm out. Can I confirm ES just crossing the territory? Yeah. ES is now in irrational territory, breaking through. Oh, wow. Okay. How are my trades doing, by the way? Here we go. My NVIDIA running like a champ. How many do? Oh, it's not showing the position. I have 25 of those. My Pepsi running like a champ. My Google bought the dip and we're good. All right. Love you guys. Go to Rocket Scooter first. Get the free trial. Go to the Discord next. Like the stream. Give us some love. Sign up for the free trial. Again, no credit card required. Nothing to lose. That free trial is not always going to be here with the no credit card thing. We're trying to build our member base up. 1,000 members. The grandfather plan will probably go away. So we're getting bigger every day. Love you guys. I'm out of here. Y'all have a wonderful day. Killed it. Killed it this week. Killed it today. You got to watch a cool day trade. Got to get the cues on that Doomsday play. On that upper band is what you expect to happen on DD. I wouldn't be longing any cues, period. At the top, I'd expect a little bit of resistance there. But hey, I'm going to let my NVIDIAs ride in case it goes. We're killing it. We love you guys. We'll see y'all later. And y'all have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. And come back later. We'll probably do a trading session in the afternoon. So subscribe. Get that free trial. And we'll see y'all tomorrow. Or maybe this afternoon.